Did you just download a weapon mod and wish that there was a map that you could test it on? Well then I think Sourcegrind might be just your thing. And here it is, my friends. This is the one and only, as I said, Sourcegrind. It's very similar to Ultrakill's Cybergrind, kind of like an all-out battle arena. However, this is an arena that can change, and even the creator does suggest that you use different weapons on the workshop, which I think is pretty neat. Alright, so here's where you begin. Start with the map. You don't have to play a different game mode. It's meant to be played in sandbox. You can go over here. You're going to see that there is different types of props and items. This is just basic props. There's nothing really special over there. But over here we have an ammo counter, or ammo shelf. And this is going to give you all the ammo you would ever want. 9,000 ammo. It's pretty much like using the give current ammo, but well, you don't have to actually type it in. Like for me, I have it binded to O, so every time I press the O key, I get maximum ammo for whatever weapon I'm using. It's handy, but now you can do it with this shelf if you don't want to do that. Now, what if you don't want to start with all these weapons? What if you just want to have a clean slate? That is where the dumpster comes into play. Simply press E and you have nothing. This is not the same as going into the menu up here and then choosing to spawn without any weapons. Oh no. You don't even have your fizz gun. You don't have your tool gun. And this is going to give you the perfect setup to use whatever weapons that you want. Again, great way to test out weapons from the workshop. I personally love the Modern Warfare base, although now it's been changed to a different name. These weapons are absolutely incredible. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, I did do a video detailing everything about the base. I'll put it in the top right corner. But no more wasting time. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about. Again, getting ammo, because you can see we only have 0. That's why that shelf is so awesome, man. Like, it gives you everything. Press E to start, and you're going to find that we are now on a map that can change, and it's going to constantly spawn in different NPCs, which is pretty cool. You can see we kind of got like a zombie around here. Definitely don't want to keep those poison zombies around. Now, obviously, from this point, we're not really in any danger. That giant platform in the middle is certainly going to protect us, but we can go ahead and kind of move around. But I will say the zombies ain't really the best matchup on this map type, because we could just stay above and they really can't do much. Oh my god, this guy is jumpy. Alright, there we go. Once you've taken down all the enemies, the next wave begins and the map will completely change again. It's pretty awesome, and we got Combine this time. Now, I did see that the Combine can kind of act a little strange. I don't know if there's proper nodes on this map. I don't even know how you'd even do that, considering the fact that it's so dynamic. But we can see that for the most part, a lot of the Combine, I mean, like, you know, he's kind of moving around a bit, but he's not really using cover all that much. They do use the man hacks, which is pretty cool, unless those were spawned in. Alright, wave 3, and we're going back to the initial one with more zombies. Now, if you're thinking, Necros, this is kind of lame. Wait, what? Apparently I forgot a Combine unit. Let's go ahead and see if we can snipe him. Yep, yeah. These weapons are kind of OP, but oh so fun to use. Alright, where is the last zombie? Oh, it's always the head crab, damn it. Alright, now, whoa, this is different. Oh. We got a mixture of zombies and Combine. Okay. Now, like I was saying earlier, if you guys are tired of seeing these kinds of NPCs, have no fear, because there is a way to add your own custom NPCs, which I think is pretty awesome. However, it does involve you to actually go into the Lua folder of the mod and change some things. However, the creator has made a very extensive and detailed guide on exactly what you have to do. So if that's something that you want to take on, have no fear, because the creator has your back, and I love to see that kind of support. Alright, wave 5. And already I'm seeing a lot of repetition. Apparently you can even change how the map looks. Certain things you can type into the Lua folder that could even change the map layout, which I think that is very fascinating, although I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. Alright, let's go ahead and take this guy out. Oh, forgot this was a shotgun. Now, many of you might be wondering, whoa, Necros, why are you even showcasing this map? And it's kind of like I've mentioned before. there's always been a need to test weapons out, and there are plenty of great maps. I typically go for like raid maps or something like that, but sometimes you don't want to have to go through an entire campaign like that. Sometimes you just want to have a nice little arena that can change every now and then, and this is definitely going to fit that bill. Although I'm starting to notice, I think there's only like 3 different map types, which is somewhat disappointing. I do kind of wish there was more by default for people who aren't Lewis savvy like me. I'm also noticing that there's really not that much variation in the NPCs. We're kind of just getting Combine, and not even like different types of Combine. It's really just Metro Police officers and the zombies. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. We do have a typical Overwatch soldier here, but I was kind of hoping for like a more extensive variety. So if I could just add one suggestion to the creator, please, I know you did make a guide, but if you're watching this video, please add more default patterns for people who don't want to have to open the text file and have to edit a bunch of stuff. Maybe like 5 or 6 or something like that, just to give it a bit more of that spice. And, I mean, maybe it's a bit much to ask, but if you could also add default NPCs. Now, I know I'm sounding really lazy right now, but this is starting to get a little repetitive, but you know what, that's okay, because it is truly just meant to test out weapons, and if you're tired of spawning in NPCs just to kill them again, this could be a good organic way to see what weapons do what. And if you're wondering what happens when you jump off the edge, well, you could probably take a wild guess. The head crabs jumped off too, and you know what, I thought we were going to die? We did not. So there's not even a kill floor. Well, we gotta do it the old-fashioned way then. Now, when you die, you will return back to the starting position, where you can restock on ammo, get rid of your weapons if need be, and go at it again. Now, when you do come back, though, you're going to notice we have some options. We can reset with this new button right here, or we can continue where we left off. I do love that kind of feature, so that, you know, if you ended up almost winning or you had a huge round, or let's say you were trying to get to like around 100, it's great to know that you can continue. But now that we have reset, you can see, it's funny, all this button does is it just resets the map. I can even see the prompt down there, so that's pretty interesting. And then we can go at it again. But overall, that's really it. There's not much to this. And you know what's funny? I was going into this expecting there to be at least a couple more variations, but you know what? It is what it is. What do you guys think down below? Is this a map that you would use? And if not, what other maps would you suggest otherwise? I would love to hear your suggestions down below. Also, if you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate it if you left a like and subscribed. You can use code NecrosVideos94 to save 20% off your next G Fuel order. I have a new video on my Pokemon TCG Pocket channel. That's linked down below as well. But until next time, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and until next time, farewell.